So how have you been, man? How's it been since this COVID started?
Fuck, man. Look, I got a gym in my garage.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can work out because I can't not work out.
No, you got
And I'm fucking bored, man.
It's about
I wish I had done Astro this year.
Well, we had you at the first two. We wanted you at the third one, but by the time we wanted to make it happen, it just couldn't happen. We were already fully overbooked, and it seems like that was most people's last convention of the year. Some people, the week after had a couple conventions, but
yeah,
it seems like that was the last one for the year, man.
I know, and I haven't done one this year.
No?
Last year I did 23. This year I've done 0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, you're always working, man. I see you at everything. What's up, guys? Big Dustin here, here with legendary stuntman, actor extraordinaire, Kane Hodder. He's been to the first 2 Astronomicons. He's been in nearly 300 films, most notably his Friday the 13th portrayal of Jason Voorhees. He is the only actor to have played him 4 times. And also one of my personal favorite movies, Part 8, where you took Manhattan and didn't take no shit from no one. So
right.
Let's get into that.
At the end of the movie, though.
At the end of the movie, yes. At the very end of the movie, you finally got to Manhattan and got to, fuck some shit up, which I definitely enjoyed. But speaking of Part 8, lots of press that was around it. What I really, it was the peak of popularity for Jason for the Friday the 13th franchise. You did a spot on Arsenio Hall.
I did. Yes.
Yes. Right here we have this notable piece where you come out. What was that like? What to go on there and not, not a speaking role, nothing. What was it like to go up there?
Well, first of all, I couldn't believe that he invited me to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wearing the real stuff too. And that's a prop axe from the movie.
Okay.
And he, I'm like, he says, I want you to be a guest on the show. And I'm like, well, you dumb fuck, I don't speak. You know that, right? He said, well, that's the whole point, is he said, I'm going to make it funny because of that. And I didn't know any of the stuff he was going to ask. I never saw the questions ahead of time. So I was laughing my ass off, like right there, I'm laughing. But fortunately, you can't tell because of the mask. I'm smiling and shit. And do I have to watch my language on here, Dustin?
You could say whatever you like.
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
No, absolutely.
But he was asking things. I think he could have been even more clever and funny with it, but it still was good. And the best part was if you watch that beginning again, where I come out, he told me ahead of time back in the green room, he says, I know it's going to sound stupid, but I'm terrified of you as that character.
As a lot of people are.
So as well as I do, Dustin, you tell me that, and I'm going to fuck with you.
Oh, absolutely.
And at the beginning where I make a move towards him and he jumps back, he wasn't acting. And then after we finished, I walked out and I grabbed him around the throat. And you don't see that on the camera, but right here, when I come out, it felt weird as hell. But when I first moved towards him, oh God, I'm doing the fucking endless walk. But
yeah, he just starts
going up
the stairs.
It was at the end, I think. Or he's keeping.
Yeah, no, he backed up too. He's like, I'm not doing it.
He's keeping that COVID distance even back then.
That sweet social distance. I mean, I would social distance from Jason too, but
Oh, he touches my arm here, and I move it, and he gets a little nervous.
yes,
You
could tell it was a real thing there.
Pausing too much, but he makes a joke and then touches my arm, and I lift it up, and he got very nervous. Are you typecasted as just being a big knife killer or something like that? There, right there.
Yeah, crossed him back. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to touch you, Mr. Vorhees.
That really was a lot of fun. That's the only time I've ever done something in full costume that wasn't on one of the movies.
When was the decision made to use the killer essentially to promote the film?
I think that was all Arsenio's idea. And they're like, well, any free promotion, I guess, is good for the movie. So, right. Boy, look at this background. Doesn't that look great in my garage? Jesus, could have done better than that, couldn't I?
No, that's the realest. That's the realest you can make it. It's COVID. It's COVID here.
It's raining in LA today, and I have to be in the garage to make anything work. So,
well, that's a rarity. Rain in LA.
I know.
So let's talk about you host Casualty Friday. It's a Fangoria podcast with Felissa Rose and it's Tiffany. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Shepis. How'd that go down? How'd that come? It's been a little over a year now, right?
Yeah, and just about a year. And we've all been friends, of course, for quite a while, just on the horror circuit. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure whose idea was for us three to get together. I think it was just Fangoria, because they saw us do a panel together or something at a convention, mm-hmm. and we had good chemistry. And when they asked all of us, who we think we would like to do a podcast with, because, I've never done a podcast of my own. And we all agreed that the three of us would make a great combination. And I think it's really a fun thing to do. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. Well, I thought, oh God, fucking podcast. There's so many podcasts, why am I going to throw my hat in the ring? And it's just because it's doing it with them. Right. It's effortless. We have so many stories, all three of us, because, I killed Felissa. I kind of killed Tiffany. I handcuffed her to a chair in a different movie, which, a lot of people would like to do. But I was the one that got to do it. And, it's just the thing with the podcast is that it's surprisingly, and this is what really got to me, I have talked about things on the podcast that I've never talked about before. And that's rare, because between the documentary To Hell and Back and my book, I've thought I talked about everything. But somehow in the process of doing the podcast, there has been several things that I was like, well, I've never discussed this before, but here goes. And so it's kind of a more personal thing than I expected it to be.
Good stuff. All right. So how does it feel? With the podcast in general? Fangoria has been, largely a printed publication for decades. How does it feel knowing that you helped them move into the digital entertainment side of it's becoming a paperless world. So
yeah, I mean,
you kind of helped a giant there.
I guess I could say we're helping them, but man, I owe a lot to Fangoria, because they're the ones that put me on the horror map.
Yeah.
Yes, I played Jason in Friday the 13th, Part 7,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't get any recognition for it because it's a masked character. So I didn't get any recognition for it until Fangoria came along and started putting me on the covers and doing big stories and printing pictures of what I look like and stuff. So I always felt indebted to Fangoria for a big part of my horror notoriety. Yeah. So the fact that I can maybe help them kind of and return the favor that they did for me, I'm happy to do so. Tony Timpone was very good to me way back, and now Dallas is great. They still put out the printed issue of the magazine, but it's just quarterly or something.
Yeah,
and
big.
It's really great quality though.
Yeah.
And you know, like you're saying, things are eventually going to be paperless. So I'm happy we could still be a part of that, and we're getting very good response from the listeners to the podcast. So
yeah,
that's good.
Well, good. So
your mohawk is bushier.
Oh, it's super bushy, man. You should have seen it like a month ago when I got it done. It was all the sides were done. I had all different kind of colors. It was great.
Well, but are you coloring it yourself?
I'm not. No.
Oh, wow.
I'm not.
I can't get my hair cut.
Yes, most people can't. I luckily got quarantined with a hairstylist. So
this is
all right. So I'd say we can move on to the next segment, the bona fide or bullshit, fake or fiction. So the first one I have here, born Friday, April 8th in Auburn, California. I have a Kane Hodder fact here that says you were the biggest baby ever born there at 11 pounds.
That's what I was told. Yes, that is fact. Or what do I say? Bona fide.
Bona fide.
That's what I was told. Maybe it has changed since I was told that, but I was 11 pounds, 9 ounces and right on time. And, you know, can you imagine if I was a couple weeks late, I would have been like 13 pounds.
I was actually 12'9" when I was born.
No.
Yeah. But obviously, Kane, you know, like you can't, for the viewers at home, you can't see that I'm also a giant just like Kane is.
Well, yes, you're bigger than I am actually. But I have hardly ever met anyone that was born at a greater birth weight. 12'9".
Yes. God bless my mother.
I gotta see that birth certificate, man.
if I get it, I'll show it to you. It's a Puerto Rican birth certificate, so it might be tough for me to get.
Oh, so it's bullshit then.
It could be. Yes, it could be. No one knows where. From parts unknown. Good stuff.
Where were you born?
Ciba, Puerto Rico.
For real?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Military family. Both my parents were Navy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Been all around, baby.
Like myself, I grew up in the Marshall Islands.
Yeah.
For a good part of my growing up, anyway, from 12 to 18, I consider that growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are formidable years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn a lot of things. That's cool. Look at us. Both island dwellers. Formative, formidable, whatever. Yeah. I don't know my words. I just say them. As long as it comes out sounding good, that's what it means.
What's the next question?
Next one. You, Kane Hodder, have played a possessed pizza in the movie House 4. And we do have a clip here if you would like to deny.
Yeah, sure. Let's see it.
Oh, so the next time you get hungry for a pizza, you know.
Don't forget to eat your favorite pizza, man.
Now, is that you, Kane?
He was mouthing the words. Did you see him?
I did.
Don't forget to eat your favorite pizza, man. And when I watched that again, I don't think that's my voice.
It didn't sound like your voice, but it looks like your face.
I did it. It is my face, and I did sing the words. But somehow they had to dub it, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah, that's me, pizza face.
That's one of the greatest costumes I've seen you in.
I look delicious, don't I?
Can we get an in costume photo op for the next Astronomicon with Kane Hodder as the possessed pizza man?
Wow, interesting. What would I wear below here though?
It would have to be a table. We'd just put a table and they'd come up and take their picture. Like, you cut out the bottom of the table. You're standing there.
You know what? It doesn't surprise me that you guys would come up with that photo op. I've been asked for a lot of photo ops, but not that one.
We like to be original. We like to be on top of things, the stuff no one.
I like doing the con. It's a
that might even doing that photo op. That'll probably make that movie into a even more cult classic. Like people are like, I didn't know he was in that movie. Let's watch that.
Oh God,
House 4 is the best.
Yeah, I did all the House movies. You know that, but
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if other fans know, but
for those who don't know. Me and Kane go back probably 7 or 8 years. I knew him through.
I would think longer than that. No,
I want to say it was 2013 that we met.
Oh wow.
You've known Twisted obviously a lot longer. Kane, as he does a lot of people when he first meets him, he punched me. He told me I had the wrong Jason tattooed on my arm.
You still do.
He choked me the second time he saw me. Sent me to the hospital accidentally. This is nothing weird. And subsequently, we have worked in numerous music videos together. I was in your documentary to Hell and Back, the Kane Hodder story. I don't want people to know this is me and you talking. I'm not an interviewer in any means of the aspects, but you are a friend of Astronomicon, and we always love to have you and show you love and all that good stuff.
Yeah, as we were talking before we started, I wish I had been able to do the show this year. I mean, I did the first 2, so it's always good to take a year off. But unfortunately, I have not done a convention this year at all. So I don't know when they're going to start up again, but I sure hope they do.
It's tough. I've been hearing things, at least in the music world, that bigger style concerts, anything over a couple hundred people, aren't even going to happen until fall of 2021.
What?
Yeah, it's all. I mean, and it's all up in the air. It could change at any time. They could find a cure, and then everybody's cured, and then back to business as usual. But
right. Well, are the boys performing at all or doing anything?
We're actually doing a internet experience. It's got concerts and everything. Part of this will be on that. This is a 2-parter. It's Astronomic Conversations, which goes to the Astronomicon YouTube, and then part of it will be part of that live broadcast on May 30th. It's called Netfest on Your Couch, and it's going to incorporate interviews and different games and commercials and just almost like a WrestleMania card where they just go and do cut scenes, and then you'll have, instead of wrestling, you'll have concerts or performances.
Oh, there will be performances though. So.
Oh yeah. Twisted's doing it. Blaze is doing it.
Good.
There's a bunch of people on the label that are doing it, and then some other non-label acts will be on there too.
So that was not a bona fide or bullshit thing.
I just wanted to know if it was. I needed to know if it was real or not.
No. What I'm saying is your story about me putting you in the hospital.
No. That was almost a precursor that I should have said before, but I have ADHD. But my man Chuck, who is watching us right now and recording, will edit it to make it not seem like I'm a total.
No, that's fine. But I often wondered if that was true at the beginning. I heard that you went to the hospital. I was like, come on.
I did. Well, we had just gotten off. Actually, one of our longest tours we ever did was the third leg of the Abominations tour. It was, I want to say, 16 weeks long. We toured America twice and Canada once, like a big loop around, hit every market. Anyway, I came off that. You usually get sick from a tour bus, there's just people in and out. You meet too many people. There's vents blowing in your face. You usually end up getting sick one time on tour. I hadn't gotten sick yet, but what had happened was, I guess my lymph nodes were swollen up with whatever, mess was in there. And I think when you grabbed it, it just squirted it out, and it gave me a inner ear infection, strep throat, and a sinus infection.
You're welcome.
Oh man. I can say that Jason Voorhees has almost killed me. I lived through it. All right.
And, you know, there's a short list of people that can say things like that. Like, I don't know if I ever told you about my buddy Steve that does the conventions with me. I think you've seen him before, probably.
I think if I seen his face, I would.
We went to high school together, so he's always hanging at conventions. I sliced his arm wide open with a machete.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I accidentally in high school stabbed a friend of mine through his hand with a small pen knife. So he's on that list with you. And a guy that I think I talked about, I don't remember if I talked about it on the documentary, or maybe this was one of the things on Casualty Friday, that I was shooting a 22 out in the desert with my friend, my childhood friend. We were shooting 22s, trying to shoot jackrabbits and stuff. And we saw a friend of ours riding up the canyon on his dirt bike. And we thought, hey, let's see who can shoot close enough to him. Because if you shot, you could see the puff of dust come up.
Right.
We had a competition who could come closer to him. And I don't remember who won, but later, a week later or something, we knew the guy. He was talking to us saying, somebody was shooting at me when I was riding my bike, my dirt bike. And he was like, I said, wow, really? He goes, yeah, one of them ricocheted off a rock and hit me in the helmet.
Oh my God.
Whew.
Jeez, definitely a game.
Sure that was one of mine because I have that kind of luck. So good thing he had his helmet on. It's only a 22, but still, you know, it could have done some significant damage, and maybe I never would have played the character.
Right. That's true. That could have changed the whole outlook of Kane.
Incarceration can change things.
Definitely could. All right. I got, what else? I got 3 more here. And we'll cut back to this. So, bona fide or bullshit, there is a hardcore indie band named after you.
Bona fide, yes.
Bona fide.
In fact, they actually asked for permission before they did it.
Really?
Via email, I think it was. They said, hey, we're a big fan of you, and we'd like to name our band after you. And I thought, you know, that's kind of an honor. I appreciate the fact that they even bothered to run it by me first. I didn't, you know, I thought they'd call themselves Kane Hodder Kills or the Kane Hodder Band or something. But their name is just Kane Hodder. So yes. I was like, wow, I didn't expect that, but I can't complain about it because they asked if they could do it. And I said yes. So
good. Okay, how about this? So besides for Jason and Victor Crowley, you also have played Freddy, Leatherface, and Michael Myers?
Well, yes, that's bona fide with a extenuating circumstances. So I did one shot as Freddy in Jason Goes to Hell, where Freddy's hand comes out of the ground and grabs a mask. That was my hand. Technically a shot as Freddy. Stunt doubled R.A. We know R.A. pretty well.
R.A. Mahalo, yep.
Right. Stunt doubled him in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So I did quite a few scenes as Leatherface. And I did a short for Adam Green called Driving Lessons that features Joel David Moore from the first Hatchet movie and Dodgeball and a bunch of other things. He is a driving instructor, and he's teaching me to drive, and I am Michael Myers in the mask, learning how to drive because Donald Pleasance at some point in one of the movies says, well, how did he get there? Did he just drive himself? Something like that.
Yeah.
So it cuts from that to Michael having driving lessons. It's called Driving Lessons. I think you can see it on Ariscope. So it wasn't in a movie, but I did.
But you have played the character.
Yeah.
So true. You were also in Devil's Rejects?
Well, I was a stunt coordinator.
the stunt coordinator, but no
Yeah,
on screen.
Trying to remember if I did anything on screen other than maybe a stunt. I don't think I did. I don't believe I played a character.
No.
I was very excited to work with Rob, though.
Yeah.
Because I was a big fan of his music, and then, House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff. So I was very happy to get that job, and it was a lot of fun working with him.
Impractical Jokers, the movie.
Yes. On that, because, as you know, that those guys are all friends of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And Q in particular has always been a big fan of me as Jason and Victor, which is why he's in Victor Crowley. He told Adam Green how much of a fan he was, and so Adam put him in the movie. So I get to kill Q in the Impractical Jokers movie. I was a stunt coordinator and also played Paula Abdul's bodyguard in the movie. And I don't have any dialogue, but I get to tase Sal at one point.
Well, that's always fun.
It was fun working with Paula because a quick story. She's tiny, right? So there was a scene where Sal has to run across stage while she's performing, and she has to clothesline him. And I, being the kind of person I am, I wanted it to be violent. I thought it would be more funny if her character really caught him in the neck and he went flying up. So I got a stunt guy to double Sal. And I was talking to Paula and I said, I think I'd like to get a stunt double for you as well, so it can really be violent. And she goes, why, you don't think I can do it? And I said, well, no, I don't. It's not that I don't think you can do it. I just want it to be really violent. She says, you don't think I can do it? And she says, stand there for a second. And she gives me a forearm to the chest so fucking hard that it about knocked me on my ass. And I said, you're doing it. So she did do it in the movie. That's Paula clotheslining Sal's stunt double.
Wow. Well, that's a nice little tidbit of information right there.
I know. It was fun. I love when somebody that I tend to underestimate proves me wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good.
Have you ever clotheslined anybody, Dustin, at a show?
Now, what do you think?
Well, I would think so, but
yes, I've clotheslined people. I did a little bit of amateur wrestling in my day. I've done things, this.
No, but I mean real, at a show or something, security type.
No, I tend to not at shows. I tend to kind of, if something does happen, I tend more now to just grab and remove rather than there was a time in videos on the internet to prove otherwise of me being so level-headed, but we were all young one day and like to scrap it up a bit.
Wait, can I find videos of you manhandling people on YouTube?
Oh yeah, there's videos out there.
What do I look? Just search your name?
It's been years. I can't remember what it is, on Twisted Security or something like that. It'll come up.
I want to see that now. I love seeing friends of mine doing violent things to people for real.
There's a few ones of me coming over the balcony or coming over the guardrail and coming around and just there was a time when I was still new in the game and people wanted to test and
and they paid
passed all the tests. So
that's beautiful.
That's always good. All right, so KaneHodderKills.com, that's your website. Anywhere else or a better place people can find you or what keep up to date with you?
Probably on Kane Hodder Kills is the best, but more importantly, the Casualty Friday stuff. It's kind of delayed by the time it airs, but we try to keep everything really current on there. And I've been trying to get better with my social media. So I'm being better with Twitter and stuff. So I'm trying to tweet and, you get 70,000 followers and I tweet once a month. That's kind of lame. So I've been trying to get better with that. It's just ignorance. It's not apathy at all.
Right.
I'm happy to do it. I just don't, not used to it. So
No,
it took a
absolutely.
while to get into it, you know?
Yeah. Well, you spent most of your career there was no social media. You were in the movies and on the news, or that was it.
Yep.
So
And you got to remember when I was fucking kid, it was rotary dial phones, man.
I remember the rotaries. I remember they were tough. It's not
Yeah.
easy like it is now.
That's
All right.
like, even when people started having push button phones, those were the rich people. So I
Yeah.
didn't ever experience that. I couldn't afford that. I lived in a fucking trailer.
Right.
So
I think my family actually had a rotary phone. I want to say until probably 97 or 98.
wow.
Still had that old guy in the house. And I mean, we got one. It's just my dad was one of those like, I'm just gonna fix it. So just everything we had was just it's broke. No, it ain't. Let me look at it. Couple screws, a little bit of solder, you're good to go.
That's right. Is he a big bastard? Did I ever meet him?
My dad?
Yeah.
I don't think you've met him, but I outgrew him, but I want to say he was 6'2", maybe 250.
Oh yeah, good sized guy then.
Yeah, definitely a good sized guy. And then I came out and I'm at my biggest 6'5", 373. Right now I'm 330.
373. Wow.
Yeah, I was a big boy.
When was that? Like when I
That
knew
it was probably at the end of Astro 2. So you would have seen me at my biggest, yeah.
You're the kind of guy that carries weight pretty well, though. So I don't know if there's a big difference between 370 and 330.
It's mainly in the jaw, but once I grew this out, you can't really tell. You can't see the chisel.
Hey, what do you think of this facial hair? I'm trying.
The mustache, the goatee.
Yeah, it's not a goatee though. It's kind of grown in, but it's just
it's
a Fu Manchu.
Yeah, the Fu Manchu with the soul patch. Yeah. I like it. Keep it going.
Know.
It's COVID. You got time to grow out whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. Look, my sons are both like doing weird haircuts and shit. They're both still working from home. Fortunately, they didn't get laid off or anything. They have really good jobs, but I'm going up to our house in Utah. I know I told you we built a house in Park City, Utah.
Yeah.
And we've been spending some time up there, and the restrictions are a little less up there too. So they're opening the gym in our neighborhood day after tomorrow, so that'll be good.
Yeah,
and I had a little more freedom. We can play golf even.
Yeah. Well, good.